Welcome back to the Daily Poem here on the Close Reads Podcast Network. I am David Kern. Today's April 17th, 2020. And the poem that I'm going to share with you today is by Scott Cairns. It's from his book Anaphora. And the reason that I'm going to read this poem today is because for the Eastern Church, this is Holy Week. And today is Good Friday, of course. And Scott Cairns is one of our great Eastern Orthodox poets. So I wanted to share a poem from his new collection, Anaphora, with you. It's called Daily Sacrifice. It goes like this. All but unsuspected, the deaths that feed, accrete, surround, and all but swallow up the pleasures one receives with every bite of roast lamb set upon the tongue, with each sweet bit of cod thus borne upon the fork. The slaughter's indiscreet, but radiates to compass all our green surround. Each leaf and every tasty root has likewise fed on death, the very soil manifesting every moment one dim microscopic life, surrendering in death its all to yet another lucky bug, whose luck will soon run out to feed the next. A smiling vegan's chauvinism is complex, but no less specious than my own. The carrot's death, or onions, apples, figs, proves likewise no less sacrifice than the tender lambs, and we are no less implicated in the scheme. Eat up. So this is a complex poem, thematically and somewhat structurally as well. I don't really want to comment. I'm not here to comment on the questions of vegetarianism and eating meat and veganism and all that are obviously right there on the surface of the poem, because I think that is just a gateway into some other questions. And I think at the end of the poem, the notion of the tender lamb, the sacrifice of the tender lamb, seems to bring the theme, for me anyway, what this poem suggests to me anyway, into focus. And that being the sacrifice of the Lamb of God, the sacrifice of Christ, which of course is what Good Friday remembers. But I haven't seen a lot of Good Friday. I'm not saying this is a Good Friday poem, but this is a poem that I think of on Good Friday, that I thought of today. And it's I haven't seen a lot of poems that address Christ's sacrifice from this perspective, that discuss Christ's sacrifice on the cross within the context of daily sacrifice, as the name of this poem is. It's called Daily Sacrifice. But it suggests that all of life as it is currently post-fall, is bound up in one sacrifice after another. One living thing sacrificing for the life of another living thing. One thing dying so something else may live. And for us, we are told that that to die to ourselves is life. And so for our own need to sacrifice, to be a sacrifice and to make sacrifices, not only for our own sake, but for the sake of others, is consistent with this theme, that all of life is a series of deaths, that for life to occur, capital L life, there must be death. And that's the incarnation. It's Christ enables ultimate life, and he wins victory over death by dying. This is a poem that reminds me of that keeps this in mind for me. Death is both the result of sin and the means by which victory is won over it. There's a sort of irony in that this poem, I think, is capturing. So once more, here is Scott Cairns' Daily Sacrifice. All but unsuspected, the deaths that feed, accrete, surround, and all but swallow up the pleasures one receives with every bite of roast lamb set upon the tongue, with each sweet bit of cod thus borne upon the fork. The slaughter's indiscreet, but radiates to compass all our green surround. Each leaf and every tasty root has likewise fed on death, the very soil manifesting every moment one dim, microscopic life surrendering in death its all to yet another lucky bug, whose luck will soon run out to feed the next. A smiling vegan's chauvinism is complex, but no less specious than my own. The carrot's death, or onions, apples, figs, proves likewise no less sacrifice than the tender lambs, and we are no less implicated in the scheme. Eat up. This has been the Daily Poem. Thanks so much for listening. I'll be back on Monday with another poem for you.